Hey y'all, so I come with another prophetic word from the Lord that He's leading me to speak and share at this time. As a reminder, please make sure that you always test the Spirit by the Spirit to make sure that it is Holy Spirit led. And always take it back to God for confirmation to make sure that this word is for you. Um, if this word is for you, you will hear the Lord confirm it to you in a way, again, to where it's loud and clear, to where you will know, you will feel it in your spirit. But again, continue to, take it back to the God and sit in His presence. But again, if the last word was for you, this word may be for you as well, for those that are standing for a God ordained marriage that God has been speaking to you about, y'all coming together soon and very soon. So yes, I'm just going to continue with the word, and this is just the second part of it. So the Lord led me to search up 1209 in the Strongs, and it says accept, receive, take, welcome with appropriate reception, to take with hand, to receive, grant access to a visitor, not to refuse contact or friendship. So God is saying, again, for who this word is for, you are about to receive your God ordained spouse. You are about to come into union with them. You are about to be restored with them. And He is saying that this is coming very soon and swiftly. This can also, again, apply for those that you are about to receive, this entrance to a new door that God is opening for you. So this is something new. And He is saying to welcome, into it, welcome it, and, to walk in it. Because again, you are about to receive this new thing. You are about to receive this new opportunity. You are about to receive these keys to this new door. So yes, He is saying accept the new and, walk in it, walk with it. Okay. But yes, God is saying for those with the God ordained marriage, again, you are about to receive your person. Y'all are about to be connected. And it's about that time. Then the Lord led me to search up 3682 in Strongs, and in Greek it says one Simus, profitable, useful. One Simus is a Christian who was a slave of Philemon, mentioned in the book of Philemon. So yes, for those that may have not read the book of Philemon, it's one chapter. Go read it and allow the Holy Spirit to minister to you. But yes, Philemon, is about the slave that is, was converted to Christianity from Paul, from being with Paul in a prison. And again, he is free to go back home. And again, he is free in Christ. So God is saying, as well, that your person is free in Him. His word says, who the Son frees is free indeed. So He is saying that He is sending this person back to you because they are ready. They are ready to be received from you now. They have received Christ, and now is your time to receive them because He has deemed them ready. And again, He has deemed you ready. So y'all both are worthy to receive each other at this time. So yes, the Lord led me to Philemon chapter 1 verses 10 through 20, and it says, that I appeal to you for my son, one Simons, who became my son while I was in chains. Formerly he was useless to you, but now he has become useful both to you and me. I am sending him, who is my very heart, back to you. I would have liked to keep him with me so that he could take your place in helping me while I am in chains for the gospel. But I did not want to do anything without your consent, so that any favor you do would not seem forced but would be voluntary. Perhaps the reason he was separated from you for a little while was that you might have him back forever. No longer as a slave, but better than a slave, as a dear brother. He is very dear to me, but even dearer to you, both as a fellow man and as a brother in the Lord. So if you consider me a partner, welcome him as you would welcome me. If he has done you any wrong or owes you anything, charge it to me. I, Paul, am writing this with my own hand. I will pay it back, not to mention that you owe me your very self. I do wish, brother, that I may have some benefit from you in the Lord. Refresh my heart in Christ. So yes, the Lord is just saying, in the past, this person may have, treated you, a certain way that was not, again, a reflection of Christ, right? It was not, with true love. It wasn't, the love of Christ. They didn't treat you in the way that, God would have treated you, right? Because they didn't know, truly God either when they were living in the world. They may have proclaimed that they knew God, but again, their actions said otherwise with how they treated you. And same as you, how you may have treated them in certain ways that wasn't a reflection of Christ. The things that y'all may have partaken in that wasn't, beneficial for, a Christian life. It wasn't truly God's way and how He would have approved of in the past. But again, that was the past. So God is saying, just as, He has received you and has changed you and has helped you to truly receive love, which is Him, He is saying to receive this person as well, as He has received you with love. So you are to receive this person and you are to forgive them for all the things that they have done in the past. Those things that y'all had, both done to each other. Y'all are both to receive each other and accept each other, with love and humility, with grace. So he is just saying, in the past, yeah, it may have not been, truly good, with certain things that you may have experienced with this person, or certain things that may have revealed to you in this time of separation that you didn't know of, that they had done to you behind your back and stuff like that. He has told you these things to also help you to again move on, as in forgive. Love is, keeping no record of wrong. Remember that. So again, he has told you these things so that you will truly forgive them. So now again, that this person is coming to you, and when y'all do unite and y'all do have this conversation and such like that, you are not to bring up these things in a way to get upset about. You shouldn't do that. You should have gone through that healing process that God has taken you through on this journey with him, in separation, because again, y'all have been separation since God led you away from them, or separated y'all. So yes, you are to remember that they have been forgiven by God, and you have been forgiven. So all those things, it's wiped away. Okay, so again, when y'all have this conversation, it's not to get mad about all over again. No, it should be already, behind you now, and you have forgiven them, and you're moving forward to receive the new version of them in Christ, and just as they are to receive the new version of you in Christ. So yes, that is what the Lord is saying, because now they will be good to you. Now, y'all both will be good to each other, and y'all both will represent the love of Christ. Y'all both will help each other as y'all move forward in life, walking in purpose and following the Lord's will. So yes, y'all both are going to walk in purpose. Y'all both are going to, walk in love. So, God is just saying this person is good now for you, as in to receive now. They are good for you. And again, this is his will. This is his promise to you, that you are to receive him now and welcome him. Those things, that they done in the past, it's forgotten. Okay. Just as he's forgotten just as he's forgotten the things that you've done, and he's received you and accepted you, and you have been saved, that is exactly how you are to view them. It's forgotten. God has forgiven them, and he has cleaned it off and forgotten the things that they done. So have I. Y'all will be led to talk about certain things, yes, but again, this shouldn't bring anger or anything out of you when y'all do talk, and y'all do have that conversation, to catch up and reconcile. It just should be a welcoming. So God is just saying, get ready to welcome them with that love, with that grace and that mercy that he has blessed you with. So yes, in the past, y'all both were stunting each other growth, whether you knew it or not. Y'all was at a standstill because again, y'all were not, walking with the Lord. Y'all were not doing things with God. So, it was truly stagnation between y'all two. But now again, y'all will continue to move forward. Y'all will prosper. This marriage, this union will be prosperous because God's hand is in it and on you both. So yes, and this is for his glory. This is why you have to go through that separation, so y'all could get to this place, and this healing that y'all need, this level of healing that y'all needed with Christ, so that y'all can love each other properly, in the way that Christ loved the church. Now y'all both know what love is. Through this time of separation, y'all have found Jesus. Y'all have dealt with the Lord. He has dealt with y'all, and he has been teaching y'all. He has been pruning y'all. He has been refining y'all. And again, whoever the standard is, you may have, gone through a lot through this process, but your person has also gone through a lot as well. So again, you may be again spiritually more mature than them, but again, they are going to reach that same level as well. They're going to, y'all both are going to be used to help each other, to do these works that the Lord leads y'all to do. So, again, this is time for y'all to come together, and God is just saying, welcome them. And for those that are about to receive the promise of marriage again, and this is somebody totally new, that God is leading towards you, God is just saying, welcome them, welcome the new, accept the new. Again, this is not going to be what you previously experienced with those other people in the past. This is going to be something different. And again, even still with this person, they may not be at the same spiritual level as you have, been with you standing for them as well. But again, he is saying welcome them. And again, they will grow with you. So, the message still applies to you. It's just, you are receiving this person for a very, first time. But again, this person is nothing like somebody from your past. They are new and they are saved. They are in Christ. and again they will be profitable towards you. They'll be profitable with you, because again y'all both will be aligned with God's will and his purpose. And then 3682 in Hebrew says covering, garment, clothing, physical covering, garment. So God is saying, your person is being clothed. They are being dressed in new garments, new clothing. So again, when you receive them, they are going to be new. God is covering them. Just as he has covered you and he has dressed you in his righteousness, God is saying he has dressed them in their righteousness. He is saying that again, no matter what you see physically, they are dressed in righteousness because he has deemed them righteous. So yes, he is saying y'all both have that covering over y'all. So yes, God is just saying this person is not bare. They're not naked. They're covered in righteousness. They're covered in the blood. They have been redeemed. They have been saved by Jesus. And again, he has given them new garments. So yes, no matter again what the physical look like, again, spiritually, these people are walking with God. Spiritually, God has their hearts and their minds. And again, all it takes for God to have your heart, and again the rest is going to show forth. It's going to be manifested in the physical for you to truly see it. But spiritually and all those things when it comes to God's way. But yes, he is just saying that he has their hearts. He has covered them. He has dressed them. So again, you are to accept them because he has deemed them righteous. They are covered by God. And then the Lord led me to search up 5335 in the Strongs. And in Greek, it says affirm, profess, say, often in the context of professing to be true. So God is saying these partners are coming forth and they will speak truth. They will, tell the truth. They will state how they feel, and they will, tell you the things again that you didn't know. Again, God may have revealed you, these things as well throughout this separation. But again, they are going to come and confess to you. That's what he is saying. There will be confession. So, he is just saying they're going to come with the truth, and not hiding anything. And again, just as you are to, confess what God leads you to confess. Y'all both are to speak those things and share with one another. Allow the Holy Spirit to, lead you, of course, but yes, y'all will both be confessing things to one another because again, there may have been things that you may have done that they didn't know. Again, and God could have, shown them these things in private as well throughout the separation. But yes, God is just saying that you both will come together and y'all both will be doing confessions. Y'all both will be speaking the truth, with each other, about, what happened with you both and such, and what had taken place, with y'all relationship in the past and such. So yes, God is saying you will be able to trust them. So don't, again, view them in that old way, be stuck on the past, y'all. Again, this was what the separation was for. So again, if he has brought your person towards you, this because he knows that, again, that you can handle, them now, and also, truly love them, correctly, and them the same. So again, don't be afraid, of them, of receiving them back now that the time comes, because again, it's coming, y'all, and it's coming fast. But again, don't get like, again, I know that he knows that you have been in separation for some time, but again, you can trust this person. That's what God is saying. So trust them. He wouldn't be giving you this person back if they were not good for you, if they were not to be trusted. So he is saying, do not allow, those old things or the enemy to get in your mind to think that you can't trust this person, because they're coming with the truth, and they're coming, to do things better than what they did in the past. So, remember that. Again, yes, it's coming soon and it's coming swiftly, but again, don't get fearful to where you think that you can't truly trust this person, or where you have to have your eyebrow up or your ear, you have to, don't get like that to where you have to raise your eyebrow concerning this person, because again, God is saying you will be able to trust them, and you should trust them, because again, if you're trusting God, then you are to be trusting your partner. You know that God will not send you someone to hurt you, and you have been following God, and this is his will, and he has told you this, and he has been preparing you for this. Don't let fear creep in and get you to not trust this person, okay? Because again, this was all a part of, again, the separation and the purpose of God dealing with you and healing you. Don't allow the enemy in to get you to think that you cannot trust your person. Do not allow the enemy in to feed you these things to make you question certain things about this person and such, to where now it's looking or appearing that you don't trust them. Don't do that, y'all, because again, if you trust God, you should trust this person, because God is the one who sent them back to you or sent them to you, y'all. Do not allow your old past to interfere with these new things, okay, with the things that God has brought back to you new. Okay, don't allow old things to affect that, because that's what the enemy likes to do. He likes to get in and get you to start to doubt or worry in fear of that person, or not trust that person. But again, this was who God ordained for you. So again, you are to trust the Lord and trust that again he has sent this person back to you for your good, and because they are trustworthy now. If you having those times to where you're feeling like you're questioning certain things, go to the Lord. Allow him to restore you and give you peace, because that is what the enemy likes to do, to make you feel that you can't trust somebody, or to put you in a place to where you will start to ruin what God has brought towards you for good. You don't want to do that. You don't want to self-sabotage or anything like that. So again, if you feel yourself getting into that mindset to where you're starting to think certain things or you questioning certain things, go to the Lord in prayer and ask him to refresh your mind, restore your mind, and bring you peace and help you to be restored, and to speak to you about what you need to receive at that time. Lead you to the scriptures that you need to receive, so that again you will not be in that place of confusion or of doubt and of manipulation or any way, because again, that's what the enemy likes to do. He likes to manipulate things to make it appear to be a certain way when it's truly not. And again, that is what he does. He tries to plant thoughts in your mind, doubts in your mind about that person, or and such like that. So again, don't allow the enemy to do that with this new restored relationship that God has appointed. It is good because God has planned and purposed it for you. Remember that. Trust the Lord. And then 5:35 in Hebrew says Neziah. Neziah is mentioned in Ezra chapter 2 verse 54 and Nehemiah chapter 7 verse 56 as the head of a family of Nethinim, which were temple servants who returned from exile with Zerubbabel. And then it says eternity, perpetuity, splendor, enduring. The name is found in the book of Nehemiah, which details the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls and the reestablishment of the Jewish community in their homeland. So God is saying for these God-ordained spouses that are coming back to you, that are men, they will be the head of the household, and you are to be submissive to them. You are to trust them in their leading, because God has, again, still put them in a position to lead you. So, again, you are to listen to the Lord and what he tells you to do. Of course, always listen to God and what he tells you to do. But again, you still should listen to this person that is going to be the head of your home. God has entrusted them, again, still to lead you and to help you in the home. So you are to listen to them and their leading in the home and what they say as well. Do not think that you know best when it comes to everything. Do not do that. You are still to trust in what they're saying when it comes to playing their role in the house as a leader. Okay, that's what the Lord is saying. So this does not mean do not listen to them and just run to God and all the time when it comes to certain things. No, you are still to trust in your partner, in your husband. Again, when y'all get married, you are to trust in them. But God would not have led them back to you or led you to marry this person if they was not trustworthy. So remember your role as well, and their role as a leader in a home. So again, it said Neziah was the head of a family of the Nethinim, which were the temple servants. So again, you are to trust in your partner's leading of the house. Do not think that you know best when it comes to everything. Make sure that you're giving ear and listening, to what they're saying as well. God is using them as well, just as he's using you. So don't think that, again, you aren't to trust them. You are always to do what God tells you to do, yes. But again, do not let this separate you and your person. Do not let this cause separation or division with you and your person, as in y'all are not on the same accord. Okay, don't let it do that. Okay, you are to be submissive to them. But again, if God tells you to do something specific, then you do that, and you follow the Lord. But again, do not think that you aren't to listen to them at all, or that they have no say in things, because no, that's not how it should go. Just because you are spiritually mature than them, that does not mean anything. They still are able to lead. God is placing them them in that leadership, in the house. So again, you are still to be submissive to them. This does not mean that you aren't to hear them or trust them with their leading. No, this does not mean that. So just be mindful of that. You are still to be submissive to these spouses, these men that are coming back, to lead the house. And God is saying that again, these God ordained spouses are coming, to build with you. Y'all will be building, as in, prospering in many ways, in your home and outside of that with the things that y'all go and do together when it comes to your purpose. So again, this person is going to help you to build, to build and to do the things that God has purposed you to do. So, y'all both will be producing great things. So yes, this will be enduring. This will be long lasting with what God purposed y'all to do and produce together. So again, you are to trust again, your partner, and knowing that again, God is using them as well, and He is, using y'all both to produce these things, to build this, home together. This stable home, this firm home that is built, in the Lord. That the Lord's hand has orchestrated for you both. So again, you are to trust in the building that is going to happen. When it comes to you and this person, when it comes to your home, your family, and again, those things that God has purposed y'all to produce together. And God is saying as well that you both will be with each other, for a long time. Again, this marriage is to death do y'all part. God has joined y'all together, so no man shall separate y'all. So again, y'all are in covenant with the Lord. So He has built this love. God has planted this love for you both, in you both together to come together. And again, it shall be enduring. That is what the Lord is saying. It is not for seasonal purposes. No, this is not seasonal. This is for a long time. Okay, your marriage is covenant. There should be nothing that brings y'all to apart, because again, this was the purpose for y'all to come together and to do what God called y'all to do together. So again, there's no breaking up when it comes to this marriage. Okay, there's no breaking up. This is what God ordained, and y'all both are to continue to pray for each other. Y'all both are to continue to pray for each other and help each other endure this narrow path, to walk this race of life. So this path that God has called y'all to. So yes, this relationship, this marriage is enduring. Okay, it says perpetuity, and it said perpetuity, which means forever. So yes, y'all are locked in. You and this person are locked in. And again, y'all are locked in with the Lord. So again, y'all are to continue to remain in Him and keep this covenant, okay? Because this is what God has joined together. Let no man separate. But yes, this is a long-lasting marriage. This marriage is secure, okay? There's security coming with this. So remember that. And the Lord led me to Judges chapter 17, verses 6 to 12. And it says, in those days, Israel had no king. Everyone did as they saw fit. A young Levite from Bethlehem in Judah, who had been living within the clan of Judah, left that town in search of some other place to stay. On his way, he came to Micah's house in the hill country of Ephraim. Micah asked him, where are you from? I'm a Levite from Bethlehem in Judah, he said, and I'm looking for a place to stay. Then Micah said unto him, live with me and be my father and priest, and I'll give you 10 shekels of silver a year, your clothes and your food. So the Levite agreed to live with him, and the young man became like one of his sons to him. Then Micah installed the Levite, and the young man became his priest and lived in his house. So God is saying with this that your spouse is coming towards you, which is home. They are coming back to you. And as they are coming home, again, that means they have already came home to Jesus. They have already came to receive Christ. So again, they will, be walking in their calling. They will be walking in their purpose, and they will be fed, spiritually and physically. And again, this is for the both of you. Your houses, y'all will be supplied. Y'all will be supplied with food. And again, this is physically and spiritually, and y'all both will walk in your purpose together. So yes, God is saying again, the garments has been supplied, and again, this is physically and spiritually. Okay, He is saying that He's going to grant y'all with new things. This is coming with new clothes, new things that He has promised you, and such like that as well. And some things that you may have not even asked for, it's just going to be added unto you, into y'all house. So yes, God is just saying again, He is supplying the garments. He is supplying the food, the supplies, the equipment that y'all are in need of to do his will, to speak and, teach the things that he has purposed y'all to. He is supplying y'all the things that y'all need of, for this ministry that y'all will be, partakers of for the Lord, whatever it is that he has called y'all to do, this could be business, whatever it is that, again, he has assigned for y'all. Again, marriage is ministry. So yes, most of y'all will still do some form of ministry. And again, this can be with business as well, with how the Lord uses y'all for, his glory, whatever purpose it is, your purpose. But again, your person also is a part of this. So y'all will be doing things together as well, for the Lord's purpose, to help others. But yes, he's just saying that everything is supplied. He will be using y'all, and he's going to be providing. And then the Lord led him to search up 2245 in the Strongs, and in Greek it says properly, fully grown, great by coming of age. How great, such a small, one of the same age. So God is saying, yes, he did say that, you and your person may not be on the exact spiritual level as each other when y'all first come together and such. But again, this person is still fully grown when it comes to, leading, when it comes to truly taking care of you. They will be able to still, treat you, well and good. They will be able to still lead you in that way, to where, they are supplying the things that you're in need of and such like that. God is saying, although they may not be on the same level as you spiritually, but again, they will still be mature. They are, again, mature still with how they handle things, with how they, walk, with how they act and such like that. So again, this is not going to be someone that is immature, childish or anything like that. No, this person is still, this person is mature, and they are able to deal with things responsibly. They are responsible. That is what the Lord is saying. So don't view them as, they're not going to be able to lead. No, they are still mature in that area. They are able to lead. And that's why he says you are to still be submissive to them and such, so don't view them as, less than, just because they may not be on the same level of you spiritually. But again, they are still able to take care of things responsibly and, handle you in a way that is mature. So yes, he is just furthermore confirming that y'all will be equally yoked, no matter how it is appearing to be in the spirit, when it comes to the leveling of, where you are and where they are. Again, y'all are still equally yoked. So yes, he was just furthermore, telling you all that, again, this person is still going to be mature with how they, conduct themselves. They're going to be mature with how they handle things and how they speak when it comes to you. You're not going to have to worry about that, or them treating you badly, or them treating you as if, they don't listen, or, they don't hear you. It's not going to be like the past. So yes, just know that this person is and has grown maturely to know how to handle and conduct themselves when it comes to the relationship, when it comes to speaking, with you, and, working things out. So they are going to deal with things more maturely than they did in the past. And this concerns you as well. They will deal with you more mature now. In the past, they may were still in a young mind when it came to certain things within a relationship that you may have converse with them about and such. They didn't understand it back then. They may was, choosing to still do what they wanted to do, and they didn't truly respect your feelings or understand your feelings, at times with the things that they were choosing to do. But again, God is saying that they have, matured from that place, from that stage of where they were back then, and they are understanding of how they are to, be considerate and to understand of how to handle you and, not hurt you, not deal with you poorly. They will be a more mature man now than that, old version of themselves, or they will be a more mature woman now than that old version of, their selves. So again, this was a part of the separation that helped them to, grow in that mindset when it came to certain things that they were doing in the past that wasn't truly right, that wasn't good, for any relationship, that they shouldn't have been doing. So yes, y'all, these spouses are coming back with the more mature mindset and with more clear and understanding of how they are to treat you and deal with you, and how to truly be in a relationship, and what it takes. So yes, this was a part of the separation. This is what, it taught them, throughout the separation. They have been growing So, yes, they're coming back ready to love you. So, again, just as God has loved you, He has provided for you. And that is what God is saying these spouses are going to do. They're going to provide. If it's a woman, she's going to provide that safe place, that peace, that love, that you are in need of, and that support. You're going to receive the things that you are in need of from a partner. And God is saying for those women that are, expecting this man to come back, that He has told you about, y'all are going to be well provided for. They're going to provide for you. They're going to be your support as well and encourage you, your helpmate. So again, y'all will be receiving the things that y'all both are in need of from each other, and it will be good. So again, for those who are standing spouses that are expecting a return, God is just saying, yes, you are more spiritually mature than them, but that does not mean that they aren't still mature. And again, you are not to think of yourself holier than thou when it comes to these spouses, when it comes to your partners, because again, they are going to reach that level as well, in the spirit. They are going to grow just as you have grown and reached that place in the spirit where you are now, and how you are, walking in the purpose and such. They're going to reach that level of their gifting as well, of operating in their gifting. They're going to reach that place. So again, do not look at yourself holier than thou. Do not think that you're better than them or greater than them, because you are not. He still views y'all both the same, no matter what. So again, remember that God does not see like man sees. He looks at, the heart. And again, as long as you are following after Him, he sees us all, faithful. He sees us all, as in obedience. So again, that's what we are to do. He tells us to work out our faith according to the measure that it is gifted to us. So do not think of yourself better than they are just because you are, more spiritually sharper than they are. Again, they are going to reach that same level. But yes. And then the Lord led me to Luke chapter 22, verses 24 through 30. And it says, a dispute also arose among them as to which of them was considered to be the greatest. Jesus said to them, the kings of the Gentiles lord it over them, and those who exercise authority over them call themselves benefactors. But you are not to be like that. Instead, the greatest among you should be like the youngest, and the one who rules like the one who serves. For who is greater, the one who is at the table or the one who serves? Is it not the one who is at the table? But I am among you as the one who serves. You are those who have stood by me in my trials, and I confer on you a kingdom, just as my Father conferred one on me, so that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom and sit on the thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So yes, God is just reminding you all the importance of humility. Again, they were arguing about who was the greatest amongst them, the apostles and such, but He told them the youngest is the greatest. The least of them is the greatest. So again, He was just showing again the humility that we really should have, and not look at each other in comparison to be greater than another. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a competition of who's the greatest, or who's the best when it comes to the things that they're doing, or your gifting or what you're doing, in the kingdom. It should never be like that. So again, He was just saying, those that are the youngest are the greatest. That's what He was saying. Because again, those that are, wise, they think that they're the greatest, and God doesn't view it like that. God favors the humble. He likes the meek. Okay. He encourages us all to be humble, and none of us should look at each other as greater than the other. So yes, He is just saying this as well for y'all that are, more spiritually mature at the moment, when these spouses come back. Again, He doesn't see it like that of you being greater or better than them. So you shouldn't be seeing yourself like that either. Just as He said, the one at the table appears to be the greatest, right? Because they're able to eat, they're sitting and eating, versus the one that's serving. But God said He was the one that was serving. So what do you mean? That's where it comes from. What with the humbling, it appears to be the one that's sitting at the table that's feasting. They're in a greater position, right? And Jesus was saying He was the server of them, though. So again, do you think that you're better than Jesus? he was there serving them, and for them to think that they truly are greater than him at the table because they're eating, that will be crazy, because he's Jesus. He was the greatest. But yes, he was just showing again the true, humility, and how that looks, when it comes to the things that we do in life, and when it comes to serving. Okay, because again, those that are in those places and positions of serving and such, of helping, others, and their position is truly more rewarding, those that serve. So that's what he was just showing. Those at the table, it appears to be that the one at the table is the best, right? Is in a greater position. But no, he was saying he was the servant to them at the table. So for them to think that they were better than him, that will be ignorant. That will be prideful. That will be unwise for them to think that, because again, he was Jesus, and he was the one who was serving them. And he tells us fools are prideful. So yes, y'all, just don't be prideful. That's all he's saying. Don't be prideful. Don't be in that way of, again, self-righteousness, or viewing yourself holier than thou when it comes to your partner, because God does not view you any better than them. That is just the truth. He loves y'all both. And again, he wants y'all both to work together, again, for the purpose, according to his plan, y'all, for the glory, for his glory. So again, he wants y'all to work together and, truly work in love. And then 2245 also means to love, to cherish, to embrace, to love, to cherish with affection. So yes, God is just saying to cherish each other, to love one another, truly embrace each other and deal with each other, how, you both would want to be treated. Think about that. It should be a balance, a equal exchange when it comes to love. Y'all loving each other, so don't think that it should just go one way. No, again, love is about compromising for one another, and helping each other in a way that it will be beneficial for you both, not just one party. So he is saying, love each other, embrace each other, truly enjoy y'all company of being together, because again, this has been a long time coming, right? That you have been waiting for this promise of marriage. He's just saying love each other, because again, he has taught you both how to love. He has taught you the true meaning of love. Not no longer what that worldly love was, but the true meaning of love. That is what y'all learned in this separation phase. So again, receive each other and cherish that what y'all have now, because it's truly special. And again, it's gifted by God. So take very much care of it, as in each other. Take care of each other, because again, y'all both are gifts from God for one another, to one another. And then the Lord led me to search up 449 in the Strong's. And in Hebrew, it says God of love. God has loved, or God has befriended. So yes, God is saying again, he has taught y'all love. He has loved y'all. Y'all have, ooh, bless me. God is saying that y'all have received his love in this, again, time apart. Y'all have grown to know God. And again, he's our first love. So again, y'all have received the love of God. And again, he has blessed y'all with that love to show forth for one another, to one another. So yes, he is just saying he loves you both, and y'all both are friends to God. He values you both. So again, continue to value each other. Once y'all come, in union, value each other, just as Christ loved the church. And then 449 in Greek says unwashed, unclean, in the ceremonial religious sense. So yes, God is just saying again, this person is washed. They are washed. They are cleansed by him. Don't think that they're not, again, just by certain things that they may, still be doing when they come back to you, or that they are doing that you don't do. Again, don't view them in that religious way. Don't be trying to, judge them harshly. Again, he is just, he's just repeating that, because again, we are not to do that. You do not want to cause harm or hurt to your partner. Do not do that. So don't view them in that way of, again, you trying to judge them harshly, to where you viewing them as in they're not saved, or they're not cleansed, or they haven't truly received God, because they're still doing certain things that you don't do. Don't think that way. That is not how God views it. Okay, he is telling you that they are washed, they are cleansed. Don't be like the Pharisees. Okay, don't try to start taking on that type of mindset when it comes to that type of thing, because again, God has, saved them. He has their heart, he has washed them inwardly, and again, they will start to grow and change outwardly as well as they continue to follow the Lord, and y'all grow together on this journey, in this union, in this marriage. He is saying about the food as well. When it comes to certain things that you may don't eat anymore, but they may still eat. Do not be trying to judge your partner because they still eat certain things. If you were led to stop eating something and you felt that conviction and you didn't want to eat it anymore, again, that was your, conviction. That was your personal conviction. So do not be trying to force your eating habits on your person. Again, yes, we would naturally want our, spouses to eat more healthy as well. That's something that we could want, but at the same time, we can't force them to do that. You shouldn't try to overplay again, your role, and try to force them to eat things that they may not want to eat. So or make them stop eating things that they may not want to stop. So again, if the Lord leads them to stop, then they will stop. If it's periods of time that they will choose to stop eating, get here and there, then again, that's that's up to them, to decide, and with God and what he does with them. But you are not the governor of food, y'all. So don't be trying to again judge them for eating certain things that you don't eat anymore. Okay, we can't do that. God just placed that in my spirit to speak on specifically, because again, some of y'all may don't eat certain things anymore, and that's fine. That's what you want to do. That's okay. But again, we aren't to force things on others just because we choose not to do so, or because we may have been convicted with doing so and wanted to just stop altogether. That's just specifically for someone as well. It's that you will receive it for who this for, because you may have changed your eating habits in a way to where you don't eat specific things anymore that your person may still eat. So you can't force them to stop eating it just because you don't eat it. You can't do that. So make sure that you're not doing that. You're not being like the Pharisees, trying to judge because you don't eat it and you don't view it healthy and such or whatever. If they have not been convicted of it, then they are okay. That your personal conviction is your conviction. It's not theirs. And God talks about that in Romans chapter 14. So, you may need to go read Romans chapter 14 to allow the Holy Spirit to minister to you about that as well. We can't force things, on others that we may have been personally convicted about. And again, this is not for everyone, but that is for confirmation for someone, but it applies to other things as well. Just because you don't do certain things, specifically, again, that God may have led you to not do, and such, God will work with them. If they haven't been convicted specifically about that thing, and and such, then again, allow the Lord to deal with them how he does. Again, if he wants them to stop, they will eventually stop. If that's something that is truly bad for them or to them, and God needs them to stop, then God would place that in their spirit to stop on their own. But again, you are not the one to make them stop. You are not the one or in that place or position to make them stop because you just don't do it anymore, or because you felt convicted when you did this specific thing. So that's all he's saying. And again, God will work it out. He's gonna, help your person grow and such like that. But again, we have to remember that personal convictions is not everybody convictions. So we just have to be careful with that. And that's what he was talking about as well with that 449 in Greeks that said unwashed, unclean in the ceremonial religious sense. So yes, don't be trying to be religious in a way, have that religious spirit to try to condemn them because they may do something that you don't do, or eat something that you don't eat. Again, if they still eat pork, that is their choice. You can't force them to stop eating pork because you don't eat pork, or you choose not to eat pork. God declared all food clean through Jesus. But again, if you have been convicted to stop eating pork, then you are to, continue to do that. You aren't to make each other stumble or anything like that, but, respect each other, make sure you're respecting each other, choices, regardless of what y'all choose. God just tells us, we aren't to force people to eat pork if they choose to not eat pork, and don't want to eat it. And again, when it comes to those that do eat it, those shouldn't turn their nose up for those that do choose to eat it. Don't do that, because again, that is what the Pharisees did. They view certain things unclean because, again, what the Old Testament said. But again, the New Testament, God says differently. So, through Jesus. So, again, your personal convictions is your own convictions. Don't try to rub that on others if you have felt convicted about it. But just do not cause each other to stumble when it comes to it. Be respectful and honor each other's choice. And then the Lord led me to 2225 in the Strongs, and in Greek it says to preserve alive, to give life, to keep alive, live, to birth or make alive, to rescue from death, save from death, to bring forth alive. So God is saying, again, your person has been reborn. He has again saved them. He has restored them. He has, he has washed them. So they have received that rebirth spiritually. They have been reborn of the Holy Spirit. They have had an encounter with God. So again, he's just saying that yes, they are, walking with him. They are saved just as you are. No matter what you think, they are saved, and he has received them as his child. They have been adopted, okay, into his kingdom, as into that sonship, the adopted into sonship. So yes, he is saying they are a child of God. They are his, y'all. And again, he has gifted them to you just as he has gifted you to them. So again, you both are, valuable to God. You both are special to God. You both are loved by God. So again, he is just saying, you both are cleansed. You both are equally yoked. He will not be bringing you with this person if they were not equally yoked with you, y'all. So again, they are at that level of completeness to come forth with you, so that again, y'all will be good for each other, and to do the things that God needs y'all to do for his glory, for his kingdom, to testify of the things that he has done in your lives, and then also to reach those people that he has purposed y'all to reach with y'all ministry. And then the Lord led me to 2225 in the Strongs, and in Hebrew it says rising, shining, a dawning, a rising of light. So God is saying again, it's a new day, y'all. It's a new day. It's a new person. This person is about to come with the new. As they come forward, towards you new, they are coming with new things. Again, they're carrying the keys, y'all, that y'all are in need of as well, to enter into those opportunities, those other things, to produce those things that God has purposed you to produce, whether business, whatever, this could be clothing or whatever the Lord has told you about, again, that is coming with this marriage. Again, he is just saying that these spouses are coming with the keys. They are your destiny helpers as well. So again, he's just saying it is shining forth. It is coming forth. It is dawning, y'all. And the Lord led me to Isaiah chapter 60 verses 1-2, and it says, arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. See, darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness is over the peoples, but the Lord rises upon you, and his glory appears over you. So yes, y'all, again, God is about to be glorified through the things that he is about to do with you and your partner, with the things that he is about to, grant y'all, the favor that is about to be granted to y'all, and the things that y'all about to receive in this covenant, in this relationship, when y'all are united, these open doors that is about to come for y'all, when it comes to y'all careers and these opportunities, again, this business, again, that he has placed in your spirit to start and such, that your partner will also help you with. He is saying, again, he is about to be glorified through you all, and the things that y'all are bringing forth, the fruit that y'all will bear and such. Y'all will testify and speak about what he has done, what he has brought, together with this relationship, and the things that he has blessed y'all to receive and walk in. God is saying a new day and a new season awaits you. And he led me to the song by Nina Simone, and it's called Feeling Good. And the lyrics goes, birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. So yes, y'all, get ready, because you're going to feel good in this new season, in this new chapter of your life with your person, with the things that God has, promised you and that you're about to receive. You will feel good and you will be joyous, okay? It will be filled with joy. And again, those things that you have longed for. So yes, he is saying prepare for the new, y'all, because the season awaits. And then he led me to search up 2223 in the Strongs. And in Hebrew, it says rooster. And then 2223 in the Greek, it says belt, girdle, item of clothing for securing garments, money belts, sash, pocket, purse. And then he led me to search up 5151 in the Strongs, and it says thrice, three times. So we know in Luke chapter 22, it talks about the rooster crowing after, again, Jesus tells Peter that he will deny him three times, and then the rooster will crow. So yes, I did receive again 2223 in Strongs that says rooster, and then I received 5151 in Strongs that says thrice, three times. So God is saying as well that your partner has rejected in ways and such where they didn't even know it. They didn't know that they were rejecting God, just as you didn't know you were rejecting God before you came to truly knowing him and receiving the call, right, and answering, right. Again, your person had rejected them and they didn't see it. They didn't know that they were rejecting them. And again, it appears that way because we think that we know God, or we think that we follow God, but we really don't live a life that truly shows it or reflects it. We haven't truly learned him and who he truly is. But God is saying again that your person has received him. They have recognized that they were rejecting him in the past, many times. They didn't see it that way, but yet they have come into that revelation of, wow, God was calling them other times, but they just didn't hear it. They just didn't know. They were rejecting him. They were rejecting him. And again, they didn't see that. They didn't see it that way. And also God is saying as well, they have rejected you. When it came to you being obedient to extend yourself to them, they were rejecting you repeatedly and you were just being obedient to God. So again, they have come into that knowledge of seeing that, wow, she were, telling the truth, or he was telling the truth, or, this person really was for me. Although I, rejected them, this person was from God. This was, God using them to come towards me, and I was rejecting them, and again, they have received that revelation now. So yes, they have been in that place of, feeling, a bit down, feeling a bit shameful, for doing that, just as, Peter did when he realized that, dang, he rejected Jesus just as he said he would, although he thought that he was ready to die with Jesus and do those things like he told him. But Jesus told him, you're going to deny me three times before the rooster crows. And again, that's what he did. So God is just saying that again, when they were rejecting you, when, God was sending you to them, to tell them certain things out of obedience, or, to come say certain things and such, when they were ignoring you, when they, may have, rejected you in any way, that a form that they have rejected you, they were rejecting the Lord simultaneously, but they didn't see that. They didn't know that, So yes, they're coming to that revelation, and it really, blew their mind to really understand and see, wow, God has sent this person. God has sent, them to me, and I was rejecting them. I dealt with them that way, and this was a person sent by God for me. So yeah, they have received that revelation, y'all. And again, it has humbled them as well, and it made them truly sit with it and have to reflect on it, because they did feel bad about it, because they didn't truly, know. They didn't know that. But again, they have now received that, revelation. So God is just letting you know that again, also that it is coming to pass of, you receiving them. It's about that time for y'all. The rooster is crowing, y'all. It's about that time for y'all to walk into this promise now, because they have received that revelation. They know now that you are the one. They know that you were sent by God for them. You're their person, okay? You're their rib. You are their wife, okay? Or you're their husband. So yes, as your Adam knows that you're their Eve. And again, your Eve know that you're their Adam, and they're ready to receive you now. They understand. They know now that you are from God. You are the one that is for them. You are their other half. You are their partner, their helpmate, again, that they have always, again, wanted and didn't truly know back then that, again, you were everything that they needed at that time, But again, y'all both have to reach that level of completeness that y'all needed to become in with that healing process, so that y'all truly could be beneficial to each other and truly love each other properly. But again, they now see that. They now know why it all taken place the way it did, because it was a part of God's, purpose, and y'all receiving him, and again walking in this union for his glory. And then also I mentioned that 2223 in the Strongs in Greek says belt, girdle, item of clothing for securing garments. So God is saying again, you and your person are, suited for this. Y'all are equipped again to come together and remain together, to be whole in the Lord and with the Lord, walking in your purpose, not turning back to the old, not turning back to your flesh, but to walk this faith journey together. So again, he is saying continue to gird yourself as well, put on that full armor of God when y'all come together and such, and make sure that y'all are staying in his presence and praying and such. But yes, he is saying that he will, help y'all. He will suit y'all so that y'all able to stand, y'all, against all evil and again wicked things that may try to come y'all way when it comes to this relationship and this marriage. Because again, Satan hates marriage. He doesn't like that. He don't like when people come to know who they truly are in Christ, and also these God ordained marriages, because they will bring God glory. They're going to reach other people to turn them to the Lord, or to get them to submit to the Lord's will, to want what the Lord has for them. So again, the devil wants to ruin marriages, because again, he knows that it comes with a lot of weight and light. When it comes to these unions, he knows that it's going to bring God glory, and it's going to reach other people, and help them to see and want the will of God as well. So again, you are to stay girded, put on the full armor of God, put on that belt,